Everybody, this is Jonathan Joubert with Forgotten Prophet Studio. Today we're in Lafayette, Louisiana with Cat Guitars, and we're going to kind of give you some insight into what they do. These guys have already made some amazing work for us. With Project Jason the Kruegers, they're the ones responsible for the Beast and the Bassosaurus. So if you need something that's custom guitars or any kind of custom work, these are the people you need to go see. So we're going to go take a look and see what Buddy's doing, what he's building, and maybe get some more ideas for a very, well, lack of a better term, a modest proposal for a guitar that I want to build for the next J&K production. So follow me, we'll take a look, see what we got. What you working on today?
This is a prototype pickup I'm doing for Dustin Saunier. It's going to have a magnetic system right here.
Yeah.
Piezo system here with a dual output, so you can go have two different feeds. You can actually run one to an electric amp, one to acoustic amp, or wire them together into one amp, or run them both into a PA. And because there's a booster circuit for the magnetic, it puts the magnetic and the piezo at the same volume levels. You know, because if you plug the electric guitar into a PA, you don't get much, right?
No.
Not enough output.
Yeah. What inspired you to build this? This is something you created, right?
Right. Well, it's one of those things of always looking for a better sound, right?
Right.
Something musicians just can't seem to get away from.
That's certainly true. I'm definitely a victim to that.
Yeah, we all are, you know. That's probably why we all starving musicians.
Well, look, I don't know if you mind, if you've been thinking about it. I know we discussed the idea for the new Jason the Kruegers guitar.
Right.
I know it's strange, right? So, if you've been thinking about any ideas, I haven't really told the public what we're thinking of, but I'm okay if you mention it and what you're doing.
Yeah, I've been kind of thinking about, you talked about the chainsaw.
Right, yeah, if that's possible.
Yeah, well, everything's possible. My only limitation is your imagination, right?
All right, well, I've got one.
So, yeah, so I'm kind of thinking that, you know, I thought about actually, you know, doing the chain and being able to light it, but I'm a little worried, you know, about maybe your hair getting caught in it.
Yeah.
The other problem I was worried about was the actual motor that would run the chain making noises through the actual pickup system, because it tends to pick up, you know, if you take a drill and put it by a pickup, you're going to pick up that noise, you know. I was kind of thinking of this, and here's an old deck. I had this idea, we want to make it relatively light, so if we use aluminum, and I'll just use this neck as an example, and we mount it like this, right?
Right.
To where it'll actually cover the guitar neck.
Right.
So when you're looking at it, right, it'll be, of course, it'll be the shape of a chainsaw bar, which is not quite. It's a little square.
Right.
But, and then I was thinking of, if we take this, you know, and we use these lasers, right?
Yeah.
And we mount some lasers. Well, even if you look at a piece of glass, right?
Oh, wow, yeah, you can see the laser shoot right there.
It'll go straight through it, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's all kind of things we can do, but what I'm thinking about doing is, if you take a look at it, you take the laser and you actually, you can actually see it, right?
Right, yeah.
So, if we have the laser running across the top of the bar, you know, but behind, okay, a plate.
Right.
And then we have a series of, let me find something that's going to work a little better to show this. Fiber optic cable.
Fiber optic cable for a guitar. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, yeah. If you take a look at this, see how it's illuminating the actual.
Right, yeah.
So if we have these little teeth, like chainsaw teeth coming up, okay, so just kind of imagine having these bunch of these LEDs, right? And then having them set up on a circuit that's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down, right? It'll look like it's moving.
Right.
It'll look like it's rotating.
Yeah. So we're basically using kind of an optical illusion.
Right. We're
to make it spin instead
that's
of
right.
getting my hair caught in it, or
right. Exactly.
cutting my singer.
So you know, it can be. You can have all these things blinking to where it looks like they're moving, right?
Yeah.
So it might be this one comes on, and then this one right away, then this one comes on again, right?
Right.
So if you have these two of them close together doing this, off on, all the way around, it gives the illusion of it
That's an excellent idea.
rotating,
Yes.
okay? But if you have this running to a, say, a mirror,
Right.
got one right here, just so happens, okay? And we have any kind of smoke in the air, you're going to see that line
Right.
of the beam.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good idea.
Hold on, we got smoke.
Oh, yeah. You can see it all the way through.
Oh, you see the beam.
Yeah. So basically, when we're running our light show, we make sure we have a nice hazer on,
Right?
and then they'll see the beams through that.
Right.
It's fantastic. So
See
basically,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
So we're gonna
make sense?
yeah, and we're gonna have. It looks like we're gonna have a guitar that has LEDs in it.
Right? So, you know, so you'll see this. The curvature at the end,
Right.
okay, what we'll do is we'll have some small mirrors set up to where it'll just take the light and bend the light
Right. Wow.
back to the other side. You know, we can have another beam come to the other side if we want to, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh yeah, so then I figured to make it sound good, you know, making it look like a chainsaw's not gonna be a problem. We can even do the guard in the front, which would be towards the end of the neck, right? So anyway, this little chip is a recording chip. So here's the mic. Press that, there's a light. And here we go. We can record whatever we want onto this chip. So we will record a chainsaw. And you press this button.
Press that, there's a light. And here we go. We can record whatever we want onto this chip. So we will record a chainsaw.
So the idea is to actually we'll eliminate this mic, and I'll put an input jack, and we'll record a sound wave file and transfer it through the output cable onto the chip, and then we'll have a much cleaner signal.
Now that will run through the PA system?
Yeah, what will happen is the playback chip,
Press that, there's a light.
right there,
And
will,
here we go. We can record whatever we want onto this chip. So we will record a chainsaw.
right now what I did was I removed the speaker, and I'm running the output of here straight into the amplifier, right?
Right.
So what I'll do is I'll wire it into your output on your guitar.
Okay.
So when you pull the trigger,
Right, we scare the hell out of the audience with a giant chainsaw.
yeah, with a giant chainsaw. So you know, so as you're pulling the trigger on your chainsaw, you're having the noise of the chainsaw, actual sound of the chainsaw running.
Oh, I love it.
So that, you know, I think that's going to work.
Now, hey, if you don't mind, I know we're in here discussing our new invention, but I couldn't help but notice that you have a guitar and a vise over here. So would you like...
I'm just giving it a repaint job. Kind of clean it up. We built this thing, let's see how many years ago. It must have been about 8 years ago, I guess. The neck for it, what's a little different about this acoustic electric is that it has 24 frets. So you have a full 2 octave. And the neck body joint, instead of it being the 14th fret, okay, it's now the 16th fret, which gives you more access
Oh, right. So
with the cutaway, so you can actually comfortably go all the way up to the 24th fret.
Right. Well, that was one thing I hated. I mean, I have an acoustic at home that I try to play, and anytime I have to do a lead work, anytime I go past the 12th fret, I start having trouble trying to reach all the way.
Right, exactly. So that was the reason for this, and then this one actually has a magnetic. This was actually my first one with a magnetic and a piezo system So I'm just kind of sprucing her up because this is one of my main guitars. And oddly enough, the top on this is flame maple and carbon fiber, okay? And there's minimal bracing in this guitar.
Now you use carbon fiber on a majority of the guitars that you build, correct?
On quite a few of them, yeah. I'd say the majority.
So for those of the people at home that don't know, what's the difference, or what does the carbon fiber allow you to have that would be different than wood, naturally?
Well, the carbon fiber allows for a lot of strength.
Okay.
The reason why I'm merging carbon fiber, I was direct to manufacturing for CA guitars, which were all carbon fiber guitars. The problem I found with an all carbon fiber instrument is that there's a lot of high harmonics, okay, because the material is very dense. It's almost a kind of a brittle sound off of the instruments. So by merging the carbon fiber and wood, you kind of tone down those high harmonics.
Right.
You kind of warm them up, but yet the carbon fiber helps keep a consistency because material is material, right?
Right.
And the grain is you can adjust the grain how you want. I'll call the weave the grain of the wood.
Right. Okay.
And being that it's very strong, I can eliminate some of the bracing, which also helps me tone shape things, tops and instruments. My main thing is to, depending on the key that a player plays in, is to tone shape the instrument to his main key. In other words, every instrument has a resonant frequency. So an instrument, let's just say an instrument that has its main resonant frequency is E. Well, when you hit an E, that guitar really comes to life. It really starts to vibrate, and sustain. Okay. So by tone shaping an instrument to the main key somebody plays in, okay, will make that instrument come alive. And there's a couple of pluses. Not only will that instrument become very alive and very viable in that key, and very pleasant sound because its characteristics lend to really come alive, okay, in those keys. But also, when a player, there's a couple of factors for a player. The feel of the guitar makes a difference in the creativity and how the player plays, the setup, the tone of the instrument. But one of the factors people forget about is the fact that if you feel your sense of touch and feel, if that guitar becomes alive and you can actually feel the notes when you're playing them, actually adds to the experience for the player or the musician to be able to create even more. A lot of people ask me, why don't I just do a production? I really don't want to do a production of guitars because every player is different. Every player's hands are different shaped, their body's a different shape, they've learned how to play a different way, and no two players play the same. So, being able to set up an instrument and design an instrument for a player, specifically for that player, I think is much more pleasing to me, and much more of a reward when I can get a player, I can build him an instrument, he's very satisfied with what I've built him, Yeah, and that's, people ask me, well, how long does it take you to build a guitar? I said, it probably takes me longer to build a guitar because of the amount of time I spend trying to analyze the player and really figure out what he needs. That's really the trick. And where a lot of the time comes in. Now, don't get me wrong, there are so many guitars I built I've taken months to do because of the intricacies and maybe something new I decided, like for one of the guitars I have has an adjustable sound post. So sometimes I can spend 6 months to 8 months on a guitar. Sometimes I can get one done in a month and a half or a month even. love people who can imagine. And when somebody gives me free reign and gives me an idea and says, hey, go ahead and build me something, here's kind of sort of what I want. That even, you know. Of course, I always shoot myself in the foot because I spend twice as long doing it, because there's something about building instruments, you know. The instrument kind of tells you what it wants as you're building it. That makes any sense. You know, I'll have a guitar, and, you know, it's in a certain stage, and I'll always have it in the front of me, someplace in the shop where I can look at it. So I'll working on an instrument or something, you know, and then I'll stop and, you know, take a little breath and just kind of stare at it. And they'll say, hey, oh, I'd love to have some ivory knobs on me with, maybe you could engrave fleur-de-lis or whatever, you know. And you know what, if you inset a stone in that, it would be really nice. It could be the positioning stone for the marker for the volume level, you know. It's, you know, just something.
So you're
like
basically having conversation with the instrument.
Yes. Don't tell anybody that.
What?
We don't want anybody to think I talk to instruments, right? But I do, right? Or they talk to me. Let me put it this way. They talk to me. I just kind of say, okay, sure, baby, I'll give you that.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate your time for today, and we'll certainly check back in a few weeks and see where we're at and take a look at some more of your creations.
Well, great. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Have a good one.
All right, thank you.